Oh, hi. I've been sitting here for like a week with this thing. Isn't it cool? It's probably not that cool. What does that have to do with this? Well, they're ninja cyborgs, and they have swords, so I thought, it'd be fitting. I also have this game. This is probably a better alternative, actually. That'd be one of the weakest opening skits I've ever done. Hey everyone, Brobuscus here, and welcome back to another Let's Watch a Death Battle. Today we have a bonus episode, which is a pretty interesting concept, and it's one it's one that's giving me a very upset stomach. It's Excalibur from Warframe versus Raiden from Metal Gear. Now, real quick, before we get into it, I should note there should be a link in the description below. You can go watch the actual episode yourself. Go watch the official release before watching some rando on YouTube react to it. Okay, got it? Cool. Alright. So Excalibur versus Raiden, a bonus episode sponsored by Warframe themselves, which is pretty interesting. From everything I've gathered, Warframe just kind of said, here's the character, here's one of our characters, go crazy. Because I've seen so many comments where it's like, right off the bat, I'm just gonna say right now, if Excalibur wins this fight, it's not because Warframe is sponsoring it, it's because Excalibur actually freaking wins. Because Warframe, when it comes to sponsor deals, they just kind of say, alright, well, we can do that, but you should know that we have full creative control over what happens to your character, so there's a good chance that your character will die or be shown killing someone else. And I guess Warframe was just like, okay. So Excalibur's not going to win because it's sponsored by Warframe. That's all I'm going to say. So, what do I know about these characters? Well, I have heard of Warframe before this episode was announced. Someone I talked with at school wouldn't shut up about it. So there's that. I don't know much about it, and I know very, very little about Excalibur, which is very interesting because since this was only a week of a wait between this and Boba Fett versus Predator, it meant that I didn't have a lot of time to learn about this franchise. So I'm admittedly going into Warframe a little bit blind, which is very interesting, actually. I don't think that's ever happened in recent years. Usually I have at least some idea of what the characters can do and what they're capable of, mostly because of like the G1 blog and whatnot. But there was no G1 blog, so I'm going into Warframe pretty much blind. As for Raiden, pretty much the opposite story. I have this game, and this freaking game, let me tell you right now, is one of my favorite games of all time. In fact, it's this and Uncharted 4 that are competing for my absolute favorite game of all time. So I'm obviously very invested in Raiden. Admittedly, I haven't played any of the other Metal Gear games, which sounds kind of blasphemous, honestly. I even mentioned it in a Discord server today. It's like I really need to play the other Metal Gear games because I've only played Rising. But I really liked Rising, and I really like Raiden, so, I mean, I guess I'm still a fan. So, okay, let's get the obvious out of the way. I want Raiden to win this fight so freaking bad. And even, okay, I'm just gonna put it this way. I mean no disrespect to anybody who's a fan of this game. But even if it wasn't Raiden, because obviously this fight is for Excalibur, because it's sponsored by Warframe. We knew Excalibur was coming because of the teaser at RTX before the panel. Oh, by the way, I should probably note on that note, I don't know what they're gonna do for the end of this video for like the revealed since Boba Fett Predator was technically the mid-season finale, so I don't know what they're gonna do about the mid-season premiere. But if they just, but I will say, unless they're pulling a fast one on us, which I don't think they are. I already know what the mid-season premiere is, like the full matchup. So even if they decide to reveal only one character, which is fair, I already know who it is. I already know who they're fighting. So unless they decide to share something completely different, but I don't think they would. Unless the matchup I'm thinking about is not actually the mid-season premiere, then I'm just left confused. But anyways, so I want Raiden to win, and that's obvious. But the question we need to ask ourselves is, do I think he's going to win? And that I don't know. I obviously can't make a judgment, like a true, proper, concrete judgment without knowing what Excalibur is capable of. But I have to fill this spot somehow, so I'm gonna go with Raiden, just from what little I do know about Excalibur, and here's why. Now, I want to preface, if I'm going to be paying close attention to the analyses here, because if Excalibur, I'm going to try to keep my bias out of this for when I actually watch the episode, because, you know, if Excalibur wins, then I don't want to fool myself, you know? Like, if Excalibur ends up being, like, super, mega, ultra powerful and, like, massively faster than light, then alright, fair. I'd be majorly upset, but fair. But right now, from what little I do know, I think Raiden has what it takes to win. I think they're roughly okay. From what I remember hearing is that there was like a small country level calc for Warframe, but apparently, from what I've heard, it is it's pretty inflated. The other value I heard for that feat was like town level, and that's the highest I've ever heard argued for the series, at least for Excalibur. I've heard somewhere like a planetary feat, but they didn't give any source, so it's like I don't know if I believe you. But anyways, so if the town level thing is true, I did see the analyses previews, and they gave like 100 kilotons to Raiden in a weaker body with a weaker sword. In fact, not even a weaker sword, but a weaker sword, because he gets a new one in his new body, and then that breaks, and then he gets Sam's sword. And they're giving him Sam's. I know that much. So it sounds to me like Raiden is stronger. Speed is the big thing for me, because both of them have ways of bypassing durability. Excalibur, I don't know the full context of it. It's like his light sword or something has like a like it emits light and it passes through objects or something, kind of like the plasma scythe from Predator. While Raiden has his high frequency blades, and he has quite a few high frequency blades actually, and they can weaken the molecular structure of an object. So with enough hits, regardless of how tough it is, it's gonna cleave through it eventually. It's just obviously the density and toughness of the material is dependent, but you know what I mean. So I don't know who's faster. That's gonna be a big thing. I've heard relativistic for Excalibur, but I've also heard similar for Raiden. So, but one thing I have heard, and this is kind of tipping me in Raiden's favor, is from what I heard from my friend Sean, Excalibur's suit can be taken out by EMPs, which Raiden has. He has EMP grenades, and Monsoon's weapons can have like some magnetic attribute to them. I don't know. I mean, I guess it obviously depends on how powerful the EMP is. So, I don't know. Right now, I'm going with Raiden. And I'm really hoping that proves true throughout the rest of the episode. I will try. I can't promise anything, but I will try to keep an open mind about Excalibur and see what he's got, because the analysis preview didn't give me much, which is obviously fair because it's a preview, but it's not leaving me very convinced one way or the other. So I'm kind of left with what do I do know, and it's kind of leaning me towards Raiden. That could be bias. I 100% admit to that being that. I 100% admit that could be bias, but I can't help the way I feel. So, why don't we stop chit-chatting, camera focus, oh my gosh, and actually watch this episode so I can finally ease my upset stomach. Let's do it. Play.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Warframe.
Don't miss Warframe's highly anticipated digital event, TennoCon, on July 16th,
Yeah, this
where
seems
players
to be
and
what they're
attendees will be
sponsoring for,
treated to a
TennoCon.
slew of first-look reveals, including the upcoming open-world expansion, the Duviri Paradox.
You can join through Twitch throughout TennoCon for highly valuable drops, including the rare
Someone let me know in the
Titania
comments if I
Prime.
should actually play this game. It's free to play from what I remember, so. Whoa.
Wiz, what are you doing in here? It's our day off.
Oh, just conducting some research. I've discovered a Tenno foundry in the process of crafting a new Warframe. I'm just about wrapped. What are you doing here?
Sometimes I have these horrible nightmares and I just wake up here in a cold sweat. I don't even think my car's in the parking lot. But what you're doing sounds way more interesting. So tell me, what Warframe's your favorite?
Oh, a scientist doesn't play favorites.
Oh, bullshit. Our job is the equivalent of banging action figures together. You've got to have a favorite.
Fine, if I had to pick, I'd go with the very first Warframe ever created, the death-dealing techno-organic ninja Excalibur.
You mean he's a cyborg ninja? Like Raiden from Metal Gear?
What? No, they're not technically cyborgs. More like super-powered biomechanical
So
vessels
this
that
is
are
what they're
unlike
doing.
anything I've ever seen. Trust me, this is gonna get crazy, so spoilers ahead.
Yeah, just give me the lore already, Wiz.
Long ago in the Origin system, the Orokin Empire discovered the Void, an extra-dimensional spatial realm that allowed for travel across vast cosmic distances. However, when they sent the first colony ship through it, the Zeramin 10-0, the Void drove all the adults on board into an insane,
Organic
murderous frenzy.
Ferris.
Sounds like my first wedding reception.
Okay. The children, though, absorbed the Void's energies, imbuing them with the powers they needed to defend themselves against their mad parents and survive. When the Zeramin 10-0 emerged from the Void, the children were permanently changed. They had become the Tenno.
Well, I'm sure those traumatized little whippersnappers received only the best of care.
If only. Instead, the Tenno were taught to use their Void powers to control Warframes through a process called transference. But their abilities were so powerful that the Orokin grew to fear the Tenno and tried to have them destroyed. The Tenno were hidden from the Orokin and put into a deep sleep. That is, until one day, they were reawakened to defend a war-torn Origin system guided by their adoptive mother, the Lotus.
So they're basically sci-fi child soldiers.
Sort of. Though the
Tenno
Lotus
replaces
does
its
care
plots for
deeply for her
centuries
adopted
and
children
years.
and has devoted her
Controller
efforts to
Warframes
protecting
can
as
save
many
their
Tenno as
constitution
possible.
spirits.
There are almost 50
So
different
Raiden's probably not
Warframes
getting
currently
to
out
the
there, each with their
pilot.
own unique abilities and combat styles. But I think that the very first created Excalibur is the deadliest.
He's kinda reminded me of someone.
A master swordsman with his razor-sharp
I wonder
skull,
who.
Excalibur is an expert at racking up quick kills faster than the eye can track. He's unmatched in skill and precision with a blade, especially when augmented by his unique abilities, like Radial Blind, which releases a flash of light to incapacitate nearby foes, or Radial Javelin, which blasts out a wide burst of energy spears. But his greatest and most iconic is easily the Exalted Blade, a sword of light that can slice just about anything to pieces. You don't get much cooler than that.
Huge-ass laser guns, Wiz. Huge-ass laser guns automatically make you cooler.
Funny you should
You
say
would
that.
think that.
While individual Warframes like Excalibur may specialize in certain fields, they all have access to an incredible suite of futuristic weaponry, like the Nucor, which can fire
Holy
concentrated beams
crap,
of microwaves, literally cooking you from the inside out, or the Glaxian, which halts molecular vibrations entirely, freezing you in place. There are guns that fire radioactive plasma, toxic barbs, or even acidic needles. He has, and I'm not exaggerating here, over 500 different named weapons.
Man, he sounds like a one-man army.
Oh, you think that's crazy? Excalibur can call down an Archwing, basically a futuristic space jetpack with missiles, force fields, and even the ability to fire miniature black holes.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty powerful.
While Warframes usually battle alongside one another, they have had the occasional head-to-head scrap, where they've exhibited the durability to survive even the most powerful attacks that other Warframes have to dish out. For example, blasts of concentrated antimatter from the Warframe Nova.
Sounds pretty unstoppable, but I think I have someone in mind that might put that to the test.
Okay, do you really want to talk about Raiden? Is that what this is?
Come on, Wiz. Child soldier, half-robot assassin, glorious Nippon steel. It's a perfect match. Raised from childhood to be a trained killer in the war-torn streets of Liberia by the future president of the United States, Jack never knew what it meant to control his own destiny, to live his own life. The only thing he knew was how to kill, and he proved it when he accomplished one of the greatest feats in video game history. Surviving the absolute mindfuck that was Metal Gear Solid 2. Legions of angry fanboys be damned. Solid Snake was yesterday's news. This was Raiden. Birthday suit and all.
Too bad for him that a shadowy extra-governmental body known as the Patriots captured him and turned him into a cyborg for their own complicated purposes. Even after the Patriots' downfall, Raiden struggled to build a life that he could call his own, pulled between his sense of justice and his genuine ecstasy for war.
Well, at least he's got to put his weeb skills to work with the weapons he's pulled off the corpses of all the poor souls that dared mess with him. He's got dystopia, a magnetic side
that's a lot of weapons. What the heck?
Wow, I think you actually
I'm seeing a lot of them
are
are
convertible
from
stab/whip combination made of
Metal Gear Solid 2, I
plus
would
rocket
imagine.
launchers, claymore mines, EMP grenades, and all his stuff from MGS2. But nothing beats his high-frequency blade he inherited from Jetstream Sam, the Murasama.
I have to admit, the high-frequency blades are marvels. They vibrate at such high speeds that they can destabilize the physical structures of metals on contact, greatly increasing their cutting ability. It's basically robot kryptonite, if that makes sense.
Even with his original high-frequency blade, Raiden could cut through massive Metal Gears like tissue paper.
And of note, those Metal Gears were not made of ordinary steel, but carbon nanotubes, one of the strongest materials known to man. The bonds between carbon atoms are incredibly strong, which means that the tensile strength of carbon nanotubes is greater than even the toughest metals, like titanium. Using the high end of potential shear strengths, slicing clean through a building-sized Metal Gear ray would require an energy equivalent to, at most, 100 kilotons of TNT.
And the Murasama is red, which makes it even cuttier. How else would he have had a chance against our Lord and Savior,
it is even
Senator
cuttier.
Armstrong and his nanomachines, son? Unlike those Beltway pansies, this hulked-out Ayn Rand can hit the ground so hard it splits lava. He was somehow a vastly more difficult boss than the stadium-sized Metal Gear Excelsis Raiden tore to shreds minutes earlier. Don't F with this, Senator.
That is, unless your nickname is Jack the Ripper.
Raiden spent years fighting for justice and denying who he really was inside, and it took his battles with Desperado enforcement to finally realize it. He's a killer, plain and simple, and he lives to test his skills against others.
When he enters Ripper mode, any last shred of inhibition leaves his body, and his strength and skill skyrocket.
And that's exactly what Armstrong saw in Raiden. Living proof of his philosophy in action. Someone who pulled themselves out of hell with nothing but their determination to survive.
But Raiden did not see it that way. Just because he had to fight for survival doesn't mean the whole world had to. And it was only through an act of generosity from Raiden's slain rival, Sam, that he managed to win.
His sword may have been a tool of justice, not used in anger, but the Murasama wasn't that sword, and with it he ended Armstrong once and for all, and lived the rest of his life on his own terms. Look, I know we're just shooting the shit, but Raiden would definitely kick Excalibur's ass.
You've got to be joking. Maybe I didn't sell it well enough with my spiel, but Warframes like Excalibur are unbelievably powerful, on a whole other level from cyborg ninjas like Raiden.
Oh yeah? We're in the lab, we've got the research done. Prove it.
Okay, the Murasama is impressive, sure, but Excalibur's futuristic arsenal is hundreds of years more advanced and leagues more varied. Raiden would just be overwhelmed.
Excalibur may win in quantity, Wiz, but quality is what matters most. And considering his weapons are mostly made of metal, it won't be any trouble for Raiden to melt right through him with the Murasama, especially with how crazy fast he is. Raiden can run up walls and break dance with leggy, mooing robots attached to his feet. He can slice bullets out of the air and even boost his reactions with blade mode, where the entire world slows down to a near stop.
Well, sure, Metal Gear characters like Revolver Ocelot can shoot bolts of electricity out of the air with regular pistols, which is probably around hundreds of times faster than sound. I guess that counts as fast.
Oh, please, that's nothing! Raiden can increase his perception to the point that raindrops around him aren't even moving. That might not seem as crazy at first glance, but he's also able to swing his sword dozens of times, while time is almost stopped. By my calculations, that'd be about 11% the speed of light.
Oh, is this happening? Is this actually happening? You want a calc off, big guy? Then let's go. Excalibur can literally block a beam of light with his sword. Judging by the distance it moved relative to how far the light beam traveled, Excalibur had to have been swinging at 9% the speed of light.
Calc King dethroned. Look
So
at
Raiden's
me.
faster.
I'm the math boy now.
Look, speed is only part of the picture. Another Warframe, Atlas, was strong enough to smash apart a giant asteroid. Now, Excalibur may not be one-punching asteroids, but he's proven more than capable of wiping out entire platoons of elite soldiers.
But remember, Wiz, you said it yourself. Robot kryptonite. All old Jack needs is one good swing of that Murasama, and Excalibur's getting sliced to pieces. You really think your Warframe can take on a pure-blooded killer like Raiden?
Oh, you really think your cyborg ninja can take on a ghost soldier from the future?
Well, I guess we'll never know.
Forever a mystery.
No way to determine a winner.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Oh yeah, I could definitely go for a beer right now.
No, you idiot. Let's settle this the old-fashioned way.
Oh, yeah! It's time for a death battle!
Pause. Okay. The asteroid thing is interesting. So that's where that comes from. Okay. Okay. So Raiden's faster. So that's a good sign. Okay. Okay, so I might take back what I said about Raiden being stronger. Might. Because, okay, the way they worded it is weird. So, they mentioned Atlas one-shotting meteors, which is neat. They said that Excalibur can't, but he can still take on elite Warframes. So what on earth does that entail? Raiden, please don't lose this. Okay. I'm going to play the absolute risk card, and I'm going to go with Raiden. Him being faster is good. He's not... But the thing is, he's not that much faster. You know what? I'm not a quitter. I'm gonna go with Raiden. I might live to regret this decision, but... Hey, on the bright side is that I said this exact same thing with Iron Man, and he ended up winning. So, screw you all, and let's watch this death battle. Play.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Warframe, but let me ask, Wiz, what is Warframe exactly?
Warframe is a free-to-play online action game set in an ever-changing sci-fi universe with a passionate community of more than 70 million registered players worldwide.
That sounds awesome! What's it about?
You play as the Tenno, an enigmatic race of ancient warriors capable of tremendous agility, speed, and superpowered abilities. Wield an arsenal of more than 600 weapons, including blades, guns, and more.
That sure sounds like a ton of fun, eh, Wiz?
Please stop. You follow an epic cinematic quest that combines a personal story of self-discovery with an action-packed space opera. Embark on missions that involve ninja-like acrobatic shooting and melee, personal spaceflight, open-world exploration, collaborative spaceship combat, and more.
If that sounds exciting to you, Warframe is available on all platforms. Play Warframe for free today on all platforms by using our sign-up link below.
Digital Extremes is giving Death Battle viewers their very own free collection of Excalibur-themed items. Until July 19th, go to warframe.com or visit the in-game marketplace and use promo code WFDeathBattle to redeem it.
The Death Battle Excalibur item collection includes a special Excalibur helmet, deadly powerful weapons, and more. Everything you need to personalize your in-game Excalibur and unleash his lethal ninja prowess on the battlefield.
Alright, here we go. Please don't lose, Raiden. Please don't lose. I'm not sure I can take it.
Doctor.
Oh, I did see the preview, by the way, because I'm a member. This fight looks good.
Tenno, an enemy is ahead, and that foundry is crafting a warframe.
Straight to the point. Metal freaks like you usually got a monologue first.
I love that line. Also, this music is amazing.
His sword, it's weakening
Preview
yours.
ends here. Oh, please. Ah! There's the pole arm. Okay. Interesting. Oof.
Infinite ammo.
Oh man. So fast.
Yes, I'm in. Mr. Raiden, sir, or can I call you Jack?
What?
Big fan.
Who the hell? I'm busy here.
Boomstick!
Wait, just listen. You'll never expect your secret weapon.
All right, listen, he's definitely hiding in the cardboard box.
Get out of here!
Oh! Oh! Sword's broken. Ow. Oh, there's the side.
Doctor, it's time to let her rip.
Oh, Ripper mode. Oh no.
This is why I fight. Survival of the fittest. The rules of nature.
I don't think that's enough.
My child, you're not done yet. I'm surging your warframe's power systems.
Come on, Raiden. Uh-oh. That's not good, that's not good, that's not good. Oh, no!
Excellent work, Tenno. Now for the foundry. Oh, it's finished.
Oh.
Chalk one up for the Calc King, the math boy, is back.
Oh, infinite ammo, Wiz. He had infinite ammo!
Sure, and yes, that is 100% indisputably canon, but there was a lot more going on here that eventually gave Excalibur the win.
I guess so. Both were super skilled swordsmen and ninja, and their speeds were almost even, so the fight was ultimately gonna come down to whose tech was better. And I've gotta say, it looks like Excalibur just had a lot more to pull from.
Warframes have access to an absolutely absurd amount of varied weapons. Despite Raiden's unique armaments, they were never going to stack up in sheer quantity. And consider specific guns like Glaxian, which can halt molecular movement, a direct counter to Raiden's high-frequency blade. While Excalibur may not always be carrying it, every Warframe is proficient with each of their over 500 weapons.
One blast of that, and Raiden might as well be working with a regular slab of steel. Excalibur was way stronger too. Sure, Raiden could cut through giant Metal Gear rays made of carbon nanotubes, generating up to 100 kilotons of TNT.
But not as much as Excalibur. Another Warframe, Atlas, was strong enough to smash apart a giant asteroid, meaning it would have to be at least 6 kilometers across, just like the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs. Now, Atlas did not completely halt its kinetic energy. By exploiting fissures within the asteroid, he was able to pulverize it to dust.
That means his punch had to hit with an energy of at least 46 gigatons of TNT.
Jeez.
Sure, in canon, Atlas is stronger than Excalibur, but they fought and defeated similar enemies, so Excalibur would naturally have to be somewhere in Atlas's ballpark. Even if Excalibur only possessed 1% of Atlas's strength, he'd still be nearly 4,000 times stronger than Raiden. That's pretty consistent with the energy output of Nova's antimatter blast too. Warframes are just that tough.
Furthermore, even with the high-frequency blade's unique vibrating ability, it cannot cut through everything. Raiden's original blade actually shattered against Armstrong's super hard skin, and required the stronger Murasama to finish the job. Against a foe vastly more durable than anyone Raiden's ever faced, it's unlikely the Murasama would score a kill in time.
Even if Raiden got enough hits in to break Excalibur's shields and eventually land a fatal blow, the Tenno operator piloting would still survive unharmed.
Raiden put up a valiant effort, but Excalibur's absurd arsenal, impressive durability, and raw power put an end to the silver-haired swordsman.
Excalibur had the metal and the gear to make Jack R.I.P.
The winner is Excalibur. Told you so.
Dang.
Thanks for watching, and thanks to Warframe for sponsoring this battle. Quick disclaimer, Digital Extremes and the Warframe team did not dictate the victor of this episode,
Caitlin
nor even the
Elizabeth did
matchup.
what
They were
is.
fine with it
Okay.
going either way, and we wouldn't have accepted the sponsorship otherwise. So we're really thankful to them for understanding this show. Remember, you can get a free collection of Excalibur-themed goodies from Warframe.com or the in-game marketplace with the promo code WF-Death-Battle. And don't miss out on TennoCon, July 16th.
I'm Jocelyn, and I've been promoted.
Hey,
I'm
Jocelyn.
about to do all the research nobody else wants to, straight from the desk of Death Battle.
Well, that was it? Wow. No special teaser, huh? Oh, dang. I really thought he had it. Well, still a good fight. I still enjoyed it. It was fun to watch. It was well animated. The music is still amazing. Just man. He put up a good fight. And he was done justice, I would say. Real quick, who voiced Raiden in this? Mornal. Who the heck is that? Hold on. Huh. Well, probably just goes by Immortal on Twitter. Okay. And then Caitlin Elizabeth did Lotus. That's Sandel's voice actor. Huh. Alright, cool. So yeah, I mean, I can't really complain too much about the fight itself. It was still good. But I'm gonna be honest, that seeing Raiden lose like that just kind of, I don't want to say soured it because that makes it sound like I don't like the episode, but man, that's a downer. I mean, it always sucks to see your favorite characters lose, but I don't know. This one hits different somehow. Oh well, you win some, you lose some. As far as I know, I've had a pretty solid win streak. Not win streak, but like a win-loss record this season. Let's see. Jinx, Jonathan, Thor, Omni-Man, Magneto, and Boba Fett. Yeah, I mean that's pretty good. That's just what? That's just Scarlet Witch and Hercules. Yeah, that's pretty good. And like, to be fair, like, this is a bonus episode. It, by all accounts, it doesn't really count towards the season count, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Man, it's so weird that they didn't reveal anybody for... Like, they just left us with Desk of Death Battle? I mean, fair, I guess, but, like, I'm not, like, trying to say, like, oh, Desk of Death Battle's coming back. That's freaking lame. No, like, I'm totally cool with Desk of Death Battle coming back. But, I don't know, I feel like they could have left us with something. A sort of, like, even just show off a character. I'm sure there's some special reason why they didn't, especially since they showed it off at RTX. Well, they didn't show it off, but they revealed it at RTX. So, like, I imagine a lot of people already know what it is. So, okay. Well, doesn't matter. It was a good fight. I liked it. It's a massive shame about Raiden, but I will survive. So, yeah, I don't really have much more to say on this matter. And yeah, like Ben said, like, yeah, Warframe sponsored it, but like, they would have been fine either way. So I'm glad that he at least mentioned that. So I feel like that's something that probably should have been made a point in the beginning of the video, but that's super nitpicking territory. Okay, that's really all I have to say. So I'm about to go get ready to go to a movie theater to watch the first Transformers movie. Yes, I'm being serious. So with that, thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I'll talk to you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.